dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good evening, I'm Keaton Hall. One Pike County church was severely damaged during the July floods last year and continues to fight through its recovery process. WYMT's Jordan Mullins paid a visit to the First Baptist Church of Myra and spoke to its pastor about the rebuild.
In July, floods rocked much of the region, and the First Baptist Church of Myra felt the impact and devastation.
And it was a total shock. We have never seen anything like this. We had 7 foot of water downstairs. It was estimated over 87 million gallons went downstairs.
Pastor Dave Hammond says almost all that was left was the outside walls, but groups came to help, whether local student athletes from U-Pike or Mennonites from states away.
We've had 4 Mennonite groups come from Pennsylvania. We've had a group out of Rochester, Minnesota come and help us. Simpsonville Baptist built our stage. Alabama Disaster Crew has come.
Hammond says the support has been a blessing, even receiving donations from former UK football player Landon Young.
Across the nation, we have had people give toward the rebuild of this church. Even an offensive lineman for the New Orleans Saints called and gave a great gift to our church to rebuild. And he's truly a saint, Landon Young.
But Hammond says the church continues to spread the word and make an impact.
I just thought, if Noah survived the flood, we will too. And we put that on our sign out there, and it's touched a lot of people who have read it. I've had a lot of comments about how that spoke to them, that if Noah survived it, we can too.
Proving that just like Noah, eastern Kentucky will survive the flood. In Pike County, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
Hammond says so many groups have assisted or donated to the rebuild of the church, and he simply cannot thank each of them, but thanks God for all he's done.
Well, the weather is quiet to start the weekend, but some changes are on the way for the second half of the weekend. Let's go over to UVA-wise this evening, looking at a nice sunset back in the distance. Current temperature 41 degrees, so we are above freezing at this hour, and most of us stay above freezing with our next weather system rolling into the region. Most of us in the lower 40s right now, 43 for Somerset, 42 in Jackson, 41 for Hazard, sitting at 49 right now for Harlan and also in Middlesboro. So temperatures pretty much where they should be for this time of year. Up on radar, we were dry for most of the day, but notice showers are starting to move back into the region. If you're not looking at any rain right now, plenty of rain off to the south and all of this moving off to the north, and we are tracking a soggy Sunday across the region. Also looking at a winter weather advisory for higher elevations near the Kentucky-Virginia border. We're talking places in Bell, Harlan, Letcher, Pike, also into Wise, Dickinson, and Buchanan counties as well. Those higher elevations above 2,000 feet could see a little bit of snowfall tomorrow. We'll talk about that and much more coming up in Maine weather. Keaton.
Thank you, Cameron. Officials in Lexington say it's common for fire departments to come across unhoused people struggling in the cold during the winter months. Major John Ott of the Lexington Fire Department says there was a victim of a fire on Saturday morning that did not survive. He believed it was an unhoused person trying to stay warm. Ott says that case is still under investigation, but it's a common problem in the winter months. But he says the fire department can help.
If you don't need to be at a hospital, we can get you to the place you need to be. If you're cold and you're not hurt, then we can certainly work as hard as we can to get you somewhere you should be, where you can get the best care related to what's going on with you that day.
For people in Lexington, that could be the Hope Center. They say they serve around 230 people during the winter, and when the weather is more temperate, it's closer to 150. As concerns grow about opioids on college campuses, a study group at the University of Kentucky is spreading awareness and resources to help prevent opioid overdoses in the Commonwealth. The Healing Community Study Team at the University of Kentucky implemented naloxone kits around campus. These free naloxone kits are a nasal spray, and they can reverse the effects of an opioid overdose.
I mean, the reality is with the various substances out there that people may engage with, even if you think you know what you're taking, strengths can change. Fentanyl is a whole different ballgame that can really lead to these unintentional overdose episodes.
Good Samaritan laws in Kentucky protect anyone who administers naloxone in good faith from being held liable. Students are encouraged to take advantage of the kits. Earlier today, the Perry County Farmers Market partnered with a few organizations to host a Valentine's Day pop-up event, offering the community fresh produce, homemade crafts and goods, and so much more. WYMT's Alyssa Williams was there to check out the event and learn more about the impact that shopping at these events can have on food insecurity in the area.
Small-town farmers markets can help families like the Lindberghs sell their goods and buy homegrown and homemade goods more efficiently.
So as a vendor, being able to help provide some of those things is, such a good feeling, and to be able to be here to help, but also as a family, we have 5 kids, and so finding fresh fruits and vegetables is super important to us.
With grocery prices reaching new heights across the nation, local farmers markets like the Perry County Farmers Market holiday pop-up event can help many families make ends meet.
So we've all seen the prices of eggs right now, and we know how expensive they are, and we've got farmers here today that have eggs available. So being able to kind of cut out that middleman and go direct to the source and being able to support local farmers and get the food into your house at a cheaper price is a big way that the farmers markets can help.
Through various low-cost incentives like Carrot Cash for kids, families have even more opportunities to get the lowest prices for goods.
It really serves as an opportunity as well for folks to just kind of come together, as the farmers market can serve as a safety net, just kind of give that social support and that opportunity for folks to gather, folks to be in community with each other.
This event is also in partnership with Save the Children, who had several representatives present to plant seeds with kids, helping to teach the importance of sustainability.
It's so satisfying to see that we are part of the change, and that we're helping them be part of the change. Things that we're doing today we may not see for generations, come to fruition, but it will, and it'll make a difference.
Planting the seeds today for a brighter and more sustainable tomorrow for Eastern Kentuckians. In Hazard, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
If you missed today's market but are wanting to attend future events, you can see how to keep up with the Perry County Farmers Market through visiting our website, WYMT.com. Well, growing produce has gotten tougher in counties affected by the July flood. That's where nonprofit Grow Appalachia has stepped in to help locals. The nonprofit held a meeting at Cowan Community Center today, discussing how farmers can get back on track this year. Coordinator Kelsey Clunan says farmers are ready to get back out in their fields even after the flood.
Even winter, like getting our seed catalogs, planning out our garden, it brings us so much joy and hope and optimism. And I think that some of those farmers who were just like, I can't do it anymore, no more, it's coming seed catalog time and garden planning time, and folks are giving it a shot.
One of the big talking points for farmers is soil health, which they recommend getting tested before growing anything on land that was flooded. We'll have more about that tonight at 11. The Cowan Community Center also hosted Old Time Jam, a musical session for Eastern Kentuckians to bring out old-fashioned music. The event was held at Apple Shop in Whitesburg in the past before coming to a halt when the COVID-19 pandemic and the July flood hit. Musicians have gotten back together at Cowan Community Center, which Executive Director Valerie Eisenhorn says an honor to host.
You hear the story of how it comes to be, the history of that with it, and I'm sure there are particular techniques and skills with the playing of the music that are shared with you when that comes along.
Musicians are planning to continue playing together throughout the year. Coming up at 6, the story of how the first time ever in the Commonwealth a safe haven baby box was used.
And a messy Sunday is on tap across the region. We're tracking different rain and snow chances, all that and more coming up next.